Is Stu actually good for casual players trying to reach pro rank? Honestly, probably not. Here's why. Stu can charge his super insanely fast, and Gasso Heal now gives him 560 health every time he uses it. Sounds broken, right? The problem is, Stu only becomes scary when you're constantly chaining dashes, dodging shots, and repositioning. One bad dash, and you're basically delivering yourself to the enemy. Stu is amazing. For casual players like me, absolutely terrifying. And that is exactly why I wanted to figure this out. Because on paper, Stu looks like the perfect brawler for ranked. He has mobility, he can pressure people without standing still. His super is basically always available once you start landing shots. He has 7,000 health at power 11 now, so he isn't made of paper either. And most importantly, when you watch somebody who is actually good with Stu, the brawler looks illegal. They shoot, dash, shoot again, dash sideways, somehow dodge 3 attacks, heal, change direction, and then disappear before the other team can even understand what happened. Then I use Stu and somehow turn the exact same super into a fast travel button back to the respawn screen. So the real question is not, is Stu good? We already know Stu can be good. The question is, how much of that strength can a normal casual player actually use? Because pro rank starts at 11,250 rank score with best of 3 matches, bans, and turn picks. Bad positioning gets punished quickly, especially if you keep dashing directly into the enemy team. This is where Stu gets interesting. His biggest strength is also the thing that makes him difficult, the super. With most brawlers, getting your super feels like a reward. You charge it, you wait for the right moment, and then you use it. With Stu, the super is part of his normal movement. You hit somebody, you get the dash, and now you have a decision to make almost immediately. Do I dash left? Do I dash right? Do I go forward? Do I use it to dodge? Do I save it for half a second? And that last one might be the difference between casual Stu and scary Stu. Casual Stu sees a yellow button and thinks, I paid for this super, I am using it. Good Stu players use the dash because it solves a problem. If a Piper shot is coming towards you, the dash can move you out of the line. If somebody is trying to close the distance, the dash can create space. If you are already winning the position, you do not necessarily need to launch yourself forward just because the button is glowing. And yes, I am mostly explaining this to myself. The first rule I would give any casual player using Stu is simple. Stop dashing forward all the time. Seriously, the dash is not an invitation. Sometimes the strongest Stu dash is sideways. Sometimes it is backward. Sometimes you use it to move behind cover and make the enemy waste ammo. Because every time you dash directly towards somebody, you are making the next part of the fight harder for yourself. You are closer to their damage with less time to react. If your aim is anything like mine, congratulations, you just made the competent player more dangerous. The second rule is probably even more important. Do not empty all 3 ammo just because somebody is on your screen. Stu's attack fires 2 shots and his reload is not instant. If you dump everything and then dash into a fight, you can end up with incredible movement and absolutely nothing useful to shoot. This is why good Stu gameplay has that weird rhythm to it. Shoot, move, dash, shoot, reposition. It is not just spam. You are constantly trying to keep enough ammo to continue the fight while using the super to make the enemy's shots harder to land. And this is where casual players can make Stu easier. You do not need crazy dash chains on day 1. You just need to stop wasting resources. A controlled dash that dodges an attack or gets you behind a wall is already valuable. 1 extra second alive can mean another shot, another super, and another 560 health if you are running Gasso Heal. And Gasso Heal is probably the star power that makes the most sense to me for a casual Stu. Every time you use Nitro Boost, it restores 560 health. It does not turn Stu into a tank, but if you keep landing attacks and using supers, those little heals add up. For somebody learning Stu, I would rather have something quietly fixing part of my bad decisions than something that gives me even more distance to make a bigger bad decision. Zero drag increases the dash distance, and I completely understand why experienced Stu players can get ridiculous value from that. More distance means more possibilities. For me, more distance occasionally means I can reach the enemy Shelly faster, not exactly the intended use. The gadgets are interesting too. Speed Zone gives you and your team extra movement speed around the booster, which is useful even if you are not mechanically destroying everybody. For casual ranked, I like that because you can help your team without becoming a Stu montage channel overnight. Breakthrough lets your next super smash through obstacles, which can completely change certain fights and maps. But again, now we are adding another decision. Which wall should I break? When should I activate it? Does removing this wall help us, or did I just renovate the map for the enemy team? Stu has a lot of tools, but ranked makes one thing important. I would not treat him like a brawler you automatically pick every time he is available. A brawler can be strong and still be a bad pick for you personally. Stu loves space to move. He loves enemies whose attacks he can dodge and punish. He loves being able to pressure without getting instantly deleted when he gets close. But if the enemy composition can punish your movement, lock down areas, or burst you the second you make one bad dash, suddenly all that mobility feels a lot less impressive. So if I were trying to actually climb with Stu as a casual player, I would not make the goal pick Stu every game. I would make the goal learn when Stu makes the game easier. That is a huge difference. And there is one more reason I think Stu is both terrible and brilliant for casual players. He exposes your mistakes immediately. Some brawlers let you make a bad decision and survive long enough to pretend it was part of the strategy. Stu does not always give you that luxury. Bad dash? You know. Bad positioning? You know. Missed the shot you needed to recharge your super? You really know. But because the feedback is so obvious, he can actually teach you things that carry over to other brawlers. Spacing, ammo management, dodging, knowing when to pressure and when to back away. Even aiming matters more because Stu's entire movement cycle becomes easier when you are actually connecting your attacks, which is unfortunate news for those of us who consider auto-aim a personality trait. So after looking at all of this, is Stu actually great for casual players trying to reach pro rank? I think the answer is no. And also, kind of yes. If you want the easiest brawler possible, somebody you can pick up and immediately get most of their value without strong mechanics, Stu is probably not the answer. His skill ceiling is high because his super gives you so many decisions so quickly. A better Stu player can squeeze way more value out of the exact same kit. But if you already like Stu and you are willing to simplify how you play him, I think he can absolutely work. You do not need to play like a pro. Dash with a reason. Keep your distance. Do not waste all your ammo. Use Gasso Heal to make your super cycles more forgiving. And most importantly, stop treating every glowing super button like an emergency that needs to be pressed immediately. That last one may have been directed at me. So my final rating is this. Stu as a brawler for pro rank, amazing potential. Stu as an easy brawler for casual players, absolutely not. Stu as a brawler that can turn a casual player into a slightly less terrible casual player if they actually learn him. Now, we are talking. And I think that is what makes him such an interesting ranked brawler. You are not really asking whether Stu is strong enough for pro. You are asking whether you are willing to become good enough to use the parts of Stu that make him strong. And based on my gameplay, we may need several more episodes to answer that one.
In the jet black